everyone, and welcome back to Family Life Builders TV, where we're building homes and transforming society. My name is Tosin Opeluwa. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about how single moms can actually help their children, especially their teenage girls, from going into anxiety and depression. And in case they already have this, because this is a very common thing. And when we're talking about anxiety and depression, is no more in news that we have 1 out of 4 persons that you see walking on our streets, they are dealing with either anxiety or depression. Specifically, depression. Statistics shows that we have 1 out of 4 persons that you see walking on the streets dealing with depression. So it's no longer a news. But how can we help these teenage girls? A lot of things are going on in their body, hormones are changing, puberty is setting in, and they are at this point where they are either confused or identify who they are. So how can we really help them? I'm just going to dive into it because this is going to be a very short video. So thank you so much for joining me once again. If you're joining me for the first time, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and so that you can get more videos like this from us. So number one thing that I want us to look at as parents, and if you really want to join the conversation, you can actually join the conversation. I put the link to the studio in the comment section, so but make sure your video is on if you are going to join the conversation. So the link is right there in the comment section if you have a contribution. Now let me say the number one thing is, according to Erickson, let's go into theory first. According to Erickson, the first thing that we see when it comes to the issue of teenagers, things changing for them, especially girls, things change for boys as well. But number one thing that I really want us to look at is the stage of identity versus confusion. According to Erickson's theory, this adolescent age is the point where you either identify who you are or you get into confusion. And that's why you see a lot of people, even in their old age, they never leave that stage of identity versus confusion. So they are confused. All the days of their life, they are confused because they did not leave that stage, right? So the same thing happens to, you see people, they are into this today, they are into that tomorrow. They change husband as if they change clothes, they change career like they change clothes. So they are still confused even in their old age. So how can we help these young girls? Help them to get to this space of identity. Help them to recognize. I told parents, if there's any gift you can give to your child, is the gift of helping them to identify who they are. Once you are able to help them identify who they are, the rest is history. The rest is story. Because why? Once they understand who they are, it's difficult for another person to deceive them. It's difficult for their heart to be broken. Because why? Once they know who they are, their purpose is what guides them. Their purpose guides them into the kind of friends they are going to have. Their purpose guides them into the kind of people they want to work with. Their purpose guides them into either, do I want to have a relationship now? Am I ready for marriage? Am I ready for sex? Do I really need this right now? That purpose begins to guide them. And it helps them to make better choices in life. So that it's very, very important for these children to get to the space of identity. I remember my brother would tell me something while we were growing up, and my mom was raising us alone. My brother would say, if I'm trying to work with the people in that area where we lived, my brother would say, no, we don't belong here. It's the circumstance that brings us to this area. So we have to be different. We have to be peculiar. We have to walk differently. We have to talk differently. And I see that today. I see what he's saying today, because this is an area where you see a 11-year-old child is pregnant, 12-year-old child is pregnant. So I really understand what he's saying today. The same thing will help you as parents. If you can help these kids find their identity, But you can't give what you don't have. So you as a mother, you as a single mother raising these kids alone, do you have an identity? Do you know who you are? Have you allowed the past relationship, the past pain of that relationship to destroy your identity? Remember, what happens in that relationship does not really define you. It only tells you to redefine yourself. It only tells you to reshape yourself so that you can fit in into the right space for the future. So the number two thing I really want us to do is to empower them. When I was, when we were growing up, I believe that those who have their parents living together, they were better than me, which is not true. I mean, those who were living together, those who have their parents together does not, that people have their parents together does not really mean they are better than you. No. But how do I know this? I don't know. This was just going on in my head. The same thing is happening to your child. If you're raising a child alone, know that these things are going on in the mind of your child. So the first thing you want to do at that point is to empower them, encourage them for things that they do, they help you do. If they have good grades, encourage them. If there's a downtime, encourage them. If you notice that they, keep looking at the mirror, encourage them. Tell them how beautiful they are. Tell them how strong, how powerful they are. Tell them how they are, how they are going to change the world, how they are going to be the best in all they do. Encourage them. Even if you think their grades is dropping, still encourage them. Because when you keep encouraging them, you are empowering them. And once you empower them, you are opening up the conversation. You are giving them the opportunity to talk to you. You are saying, yes, you can talk to me. And for some of them, the next thing that will take me to the next thing that I want to say. For some of them, they don't want to talk to you. They are friends and they believe in their friends. For those of them who might be acting that way, let them know that when you are ready to talk, I'll be here to listen to you. I'm your mother. I love you, and I will always be here to listen to you. I think the next thing I want us to really do is to understand their love language. Everyone has a love language. Gary Destler talks about, the 5 love languages, but it's essential that even for your children, you need to understand their love language. What's your child love language? Is it service? Is it affirmation? Which one? You need to understand, is it gifts? So whatever you think is the best way to motivate your child, try and do this so that you can get the best of that child. It's very, very essential. And the next thing I also want to talk about is let them have their own decision. Help them to make their own. Let me give you this example. When you keep making decisions for these children, you're not empowering them. Because if you keep making decisions for them, you are not allowing them to think. So as much as you want to guide their decision, you don't want to make their decision for them. One of the things I tell my children is go and pray about it. And they will say, see everything that we have to pray about? I'll say, yes, we have to pray about everything because God is interested in every areas of our lives. So encourage them to learn how to make decisions in line with God's purpose for their life. And you also want to pray and guide them into making decisions. And the last thing I want to talk about is learning coping skill. Both of you, as a single mom and as a teenage girl, you need to come together, get to a point where you have to learn how to cope with your past, cope with the present, and learn how to cope with the future. Things will not always be the same. So know that whatever happened yesterday is gone. Whatever happened today, we can manage. However, one of the things I've seen about single mom is we don't tell our children what we have been through in the past. How we got to that space, we don't tell them. So instead of mothers telling their children how they got to that space, the mistakes they have made, no. Instead of them telling these kids, they only exhibit fear. So they are afraid, they will, when they see the girl going out with a guy, they're afraid, they want to overprotect, they want to be the disciplinarian and all that, and then they get to, the extreme where the child is no longer interested in learning and growing with the parents, because both parties needs to learn and cope with their situation. So you have to learn how to cope with your situation by telling about what happened in the past that the child can learn from, rather than showing a lot of fear. And remember, fear creates anxiety, because the foundation of anxiety is fear. So you're afraid that, oh, what has happened to me, I don't want it to happen to this girl. So you monitor them, you are hungry, you shout at them and all that. Instead, tell them what happened in the past, how you were able to cope, and how you are going to cope right now. Sometimes you might need to employ the services of a professional. Go to therapy. I tell people to go to therapy. African people will say, my African people will say, well, therapy is expensive. But, well, try what is not expensive. You will see what we're talking about. So please go to therapy. If you don't have money for therapy, read books. There are several self-help books out there that you can read. Join groups, look for tribes, people that can support you, people that can help you. Join those tribes, and then let's see how things will work out for you and your teenage girl. I hope this helps someone out there. All we're saying is, it's you can help these children out of depression and anxiety if you can clear away confusion. What brings anxiety is often fear of not knowing the future, wanting to control everything. But if we can learn to cope on how to manage the emotion, how to say, hey, I'm going to wait for what will happen tomorrow. If I'm not clear about what is happening right now, I can write it down and ask questions about it. I can, especially when it's not a clinical depression that does not require medication. If it's not an anxiety that requires medication, you can learn to cope with it on daily basis. Learning to trust God is also another thing that is very essential. If you believe in God, learning to trust God will help you overcome anxiety and depression. Staying in God's presence, the Bible says, in the presence of God there is fullness of joy. There is fullness of joy, and his children can find refuge in him. So because it's in the presence of God, anytime my joy is reducing, I check my prayer life. Am I still in the presence of God? Am I still dwelling in God's presence? Because that is where you will dwell, you will draw your strength. That is where you will draw your joy. So when you draw your joy, you have strength, and when strength comes, every other thing disappear. So this, for me, that's my number one coping skill. I don't know what your number one coping skill will look like. It's also very essential that you write down what is giving you anxiety. Write it down, write out your fear, and then face them. If you have to face them, do things afraid, face the fear. You will see that you are more powerful than you can even imagine or think of. I hope that helps someone. If you want to reach out to us, just reach out to us at familylifebuilderstv@gmail.com, and you will be able to get someone that will speak to you. I hope that helps someone out there. Till I come your way again, keep becoming a better you, because things work when we work it. My friend Faith Wokoma will be having his album launching next Saturday. He's going
Yeah, perfect love has no fears. It's never built on lies. Love rides on every